Good morning, and welcome to All People's Church, Unitarian Universalist. My name is Marianne Clark, and I will be your co-celebrant this morning. In the pulpit is our lovely minister, Lori King Nelson. If you have been here before, one time or many, you are welcome here. All People's Church is more than a place to gather on Sundays. It is a community, a spiritual home where you may develop and deepen your gifts. We gather to feed our minds and souls so that we may become blessings to our families, to our friends, and to the larger world around us. We especially welcome visitors, whether you are UUs from out of town or just exploring to see what we're about. If you're a visitor today and you haven't signed in, please do. There is a visitor's table by the front door, and signing in will give us the opportunity to acknowledge your visit and to place you on our mailing list to receive our weekly emails and our monthly newsletter. Before we continue with our service, we have a few announcements. Jane Collins is going to make an announcement about the book club.
Good morning. I just wanted to announce our book discussion today at 12:30 after you get coffee. We changed the date because of the congregational meeting and the board meeting right before that. So this is a different time than we usually meet. And this chapter is another really good chapter talking about the rise of the mass incarceration and how all that came about, even though on the last chapter, you know, the prisoners had won a big lawsuit against the TDC, but now we're going back the other way in this chapter. And the author gives a nice history of how the Southern strategy developed and how it influenced the prison system. So we invite all of you to come, even if you haven't read the book. Joel Bailey will give a little summary on it, so that way you can participate in the discussion. That'll be 12:30 in the Jaggers Parlor, and you can bring your coffee with you. Let me go this way.
Thank you, Jane. Also, I just want to remind you all of our coffee house this weekend on Saturday at 7. Mark Christian will be our star, I guess, and will also be in the pulpit the following day. So that's going to be an exciting weekend. And Jennifer Quick is here to make an announcement about Reading Partners. Reading Partners is our Share the Plate recipient for the first quarter. Is Jennifer here? I don't see her, but I'm old and blind, so. Okay. Okay, great. Thank you. Please now settle comfortably for our musical prelude.
Thank you so much, Misha. Do you love starting your morning off with that beautiful music? We come together in a spirit of worship and wonder. May our connection to one another always be a source of joy and inspiration.
We now invite you to rise as you are willing and able for our opening hymn, our affirmation. Our opening hymn is number 21, For the Beauty of the Earth. We'll do that right now, yes. And now we'll do our opening hymn. Number 21, For the Beauty of the Earth. Please join me now in our affirmation, which is in the order of service and also up on the screen. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. Dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve others in community, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with creation. Thus do we covenant with one another. Please be seated. The young and the young at heart are now invited to come forward for our time for all ages here in the front of the chancel.
Good morning. How is everyone this morning? Mom is much more appealing than me, and I'm okay with that. Oh. Well, she probably wouldn't have enjoyed this much anyway, right? Yeah, not if she was thinking about Mom. Yeah, I don't enjoy things much when I'm thinking about my mom. You know, what do you think it is? I guess it's kind of like a puzzle. A strategy game? Probably for my brain it is. It's what? Well, okay. So let's open it up and see. Magic treasure house. Yeah, so what do you think? Oh my goodness. It has instructions. You have to do something with it. I don't think it's a game. I think what it is something you build. So, look at these. Tell me what those are. Can you tell me what those are? Yeah. Okay, well that kind of tracks with the magic treasure house. Yeah. What do you think these are?
These are the parts that we build.
Right, like the walls and the roof and stuff. Do they look real plain? Well, then we have to put those stickers on them, right?
Yeah, so it can look more pretty.
Mm-hmm. I bought this last year, and I was going to put it together right away because it looked so interesting. But I haven't done it yet. Because when I opened it up and I saw how much I had to work on it, I was like, I don't know if I have the imagination or will to get through this. I would love to have y'all help me build it, just not today. Yeah, but I'll leave it up here. Are you good at building things? Okay, well then I need him. Everybody can help. You're good at building things too? So sometimes do you have, Ronan, may I have the other piece to this, the bag? Thanks. Sometimes do y'all just imagine things to build? Like if you're playing with Legos or something? You imagine things? Yeah. Yeah. But then you decide kind of along the way what it is. So you're using your imagination to build something, right? Yeah. Yeah. I think practice is really good. And I probably need practice too. Like, I don't think that this is, if I do this, it's not going to come out real good the first time. Well, I hope so. I hope we can knock it over and try it again. Right. Should we wait until the very end to put the stickers on? Maybe. Yeah. So you know that people imagine things all the time. Like when they want to build a building, they imagine what they think it's going to look like and how many rooms it might want to have. And so they imagine it into being. You know what that means? Yeah, you imagine it and then you start building it. Yeah. So there was a time when this church wasn't here at all. And somebody imagined a lovely church. And so they built the other part of this church. And then one day, somebody imagined that we could have this big, beautiful sanctuary and a new wing for y'all to have classrooms. And they imagined that into being. They made it alive. That's right. Yes, it is gigantic. Yes. So I want y'all to know that every time you use your imagination for something, you are imagining something into being, okay? So what do you think you're going to imagine into being this week? You can make what? You could make something with your brother. Yep. Oh, with his build blocks, yeah. Foam blocks, okay. What might you imagine into being? You want to imagine yourself into being a police officer. It's fantastic. You're really thinking far ahead. Yeah. Goodness gracious. In 7 days, you're going to have your birthday? Oh. Oh, okay. So you're 6 right now, and your next birthday you'll be 7. Okay. All right. Well, I want y'all to think about this during the week. When you find yourself building something, just stop and go, I'm imagining something into being. And that's how our world works. That's how we grow and how we reach out to other people. You never had quesadillas and you got scared for your first time? So had you imagined that you might not like it? But you loved it. That's great. You said you might like them, but you don't like them. Do you like quesadillas? No? Okay. So 1 out of 3 young people like quesadillas. That's my study. I'm sticking to it. I love quesadillas, yes, because I love cheese. Yeah. Oh, okay, you just like it by itself. Oh, you do like it with quesadillas, okay. All right. It's important to know what you're answering, yes. Okay, well, we're going to sing y'all out, and I want y'all to have just the best week, and be super safe this weekend, because it's a holiday weekend, okay? Ooh, I'd like to go to the pool. All right, y'all have a great week, okay?
offering words this morning are from Brandick Lovely. Let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place which is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and of hope, for we are now the keepers of the dream. It is our custom to share the undesignated cash offerings that are collected each week. We do this on a quarterly basis for a nonprofit or a charitable organization. Our Share the Plate recipient for the second quarter of 2025 is the Underground, sponsored by Unbound Now to help victims of human trafficking. Is Jennifer here yet? Okay. The gifts of the congregation will be most gratefully received. Will the ushers please come forward?
That was lovely. Thank you. Danish architect, and let me start by saying if I chop up some names here, I'm not used to pronouncing some of these. Danish architect Jorn Utzon searched high and low for something that would inspire the perfect design for his newest project. It was when he peeled his morning orange that he noticed something extraordinary. The orange peel had these cool, curvy shapes that reminded him of sails on a boat. Inspiration struck, and Jorn thought, why not design the opera house with the same curvy shapes? Jorn started sketching and playing with orange peel-like shapes. He wanted the building to look as vibrant and lovely as the orange that inspired him. Construction began. Piece by piece, the Sydney Opera House came to life. The curved roof sections fit together like puzzle pieces, and as the building grew, it started to resemble a cluster of giant orange peels. Passers-by couldn't help but be amazed by this architectural wonder. Today, the Sydney Opera House is a building where artists shine and audiences cheer with the same zest that inspired Jorn in the first place. It all started when architect Frank Gehry wanted to bring the struggling city of Bilbao back to life. He dreamed of creating something that would make people's jaws drop. Frank admired how fish shimmer and twist and the way their scales glisten in the sunlight. He knew he wanted to build a structure that embodied the same kind of magic. So he used this inspiration and designed his museum's architecture to curve and twist like the body of a fish. He also used titanium, shiny titanium, to cover the exterior of his structure, making sure that it would sparkle and catch everyone's attention. Once the Guggenheim Museum, Bilbao, was finally built, people from all over the world flocked to admire Frank's incredible creation. And just like that, Frank Gehry's dream came true as he watched Bilbao grow into a hub of art and culture. The unique design of his creation reminds us that inspiration comes from unexpected places, even the depths of the ocean. Architect Ferabors Saba dreamed of creating a place where people of all religions could come together and find peace. Inspiration struck when he saw the delicate beauty of a lotus flower floating gracefully on a pond. With passion in his heart, Ferabors sketched and designed the Lotus Temple. He wanted the building to radiate serenity, just like the lotus flower that inspired his idea. As construction began, workers carefully crafted each petal-shaped section. The building gradually took shape, resembling a blooming lotus ready to embrace visitors. Today, the Lotus Temple stands as a symbol of unity and tranquility. It welcomes people of any faith or belief. It's a place where visitors can find solace, meditate, or simply admire the stunning architecture, just like Ferabors Saba had hoped. Well, remember Frank Gehry, the architect that designed the Guggenheim? His sea-inspired structure wasn't his first architectural masterpiece. The Dancing House in Prague was. In 1994, inspiration struck Frank and Vlado Milanic when they thought of the legendary dancing duo of Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. They wanted to build a structure that captured that same sense of joy and movement. Frank and Vlado quickly came up with an outline for their building that appeared to be twirling and swaying just like two dancers. As their design came to life, its unconventional form stood out against the more traditional buildings surrounding it. Its playful curves brought joy to the cityscape and became an icon of Prague. Architect Gudjon Samuelsson found inspiration for his masterpiece, the Church of Hallgrímur, when he observed the mesmerizing shapes of volcanic rocks and basalt lava flows. Instantly, he knew he wanted to design a church that echoed the rugged landscapes of Iceland. He began sketching a church with sharp, angular lines, resembling the majestic columns of basalt formations. Construction began, and each stone was laid, paying tribute to the natural wonders of Iceland. Once the church of Hallgrímur was complete, its unique shape stood as a symbol of faith and grandeur. People still gather there to worship and find peace in a place where inspiration and spirituality come together. Will you rise in body or spirit and sing our middle hymn, number 131, Love Will Guide Us. You may be seated. At this time in our service, we pause to honor and to give time and attention to those things most important to us. We gather here for healing and for peace in our hearts, and to honor our time together with the shared stories and news from the congregation. Each week, there is a journal outside the entrance to the sanctuary where you can write a message of memory or hope before the service. We honor these messages by lighting 3 candles here next to our chalice. Also, at any time during our service, you are welcome to come forward and light a candle in our meditation center here to the side of the chancel. In our book of memory and hope this morning, we've been asked to remember Bobby Martinez, a cousin, and Jimmy Barton, one a drafted grunt, the other a helicopter pilot in the war in Vietnam. Patrick Gutierrez, thank you for writing that. We'll have a beer and barbecue, wishing the 2 of them could have come home. I had 2 other cousins who did. We pause at this time to hold and honor the sorrows and celebrations among us, including those deeply felt but left here unspoken. Let us pause for a moment of silent meditation and music. Breathe deeply. Each time we inhale, we breathe in the past and present together. When we exhale, we breathe out the past, present, and future. Not just my breath or your breath, but our breath. It is a long inhale that lured the waters and chaos in the beginning of time into creativity and creation, and the long divine exhale that breathes that same life force into our bodies today. We come from histories and realities of abuse and poverty and anxiety and fear, but we also come from triumph, joy, and the resurrection of love. So breathe deeply the trauma and triumph of the ages, and exhale the collective love that fills your aching soul. You are not alone. You will never be alone. You can present the check also. It's right there.
Sorry.
No, you can present the check also. It's right there.
Oh, the check. Okay. Sorry. Jennifer Quick is here. She had a hard time at the end of the year, so we're just grateful she could come and talk to us.
Yes.
And Reading Partners is a really excellent program, and I know quite a few of us volunteer over at J.T. White Elementary School, and I think that it's really an important program. So our church is giving a check to Jennifer for Reading Partners, and let me introduce her so she can come up and talk to you.
First, thank you for the compassion and grace of me being a little delayed today. This means a lot to us. The Unitarian Church here and in Dallas have been huge supporters of our work, and I know many of you come to the elementary school just up the road every week and make a huge impact on our students that you work with. I see some familiar faces in the room. In this very challenging and difficult time for those of us in the nonprofit space, this even means a lot more, especially in the world of education where so much is at risk right now for the students that we serve in particular. So everything helps. Your advocacy that I'm sure many of you do out in the community is also of huge assistance. So we are just humbled and incredibly grateful to all of you for thinking of us in this time. And whether it's money time or volunteer time, they all mean just as much. So we appreciate it and thank you so, so much.
Jennifer, we're so grateful for the work that you do with our young people and how you struggle financially in nonprofit right now, it is no joke. Yeah. A lot of funding has been cut and some redirected to places that are not needed. And I just think that it's fantastic that you are able to continue such a high standard of work, even in the face of all of those things. I feel like what we do is just so little. And, but we've been doing it for quite a few years. And so eventually that does add up. And I also want to thank all of you who go and volunteer your time and those who throw a little extra in the share the plate. Yeah. So thank you so much. And we're so glad that you were able to make it. So I had never regarded anything as majestic or wondrous or awe-inspiring when I was young. I'm not saying that my mother didn't spend a lot of her vacation time driving us kids around the country and even to Canada and Mexico, just trying to show us the natural beauty of our world. But my young, unfinished brain just didn't understand the complexity of our natural world. I had no questions about volcanoes or butterflies or why bees were important. I didn't yet know that I would someday be awestruck by the Grand Canyon, the towering redwoods, the serenity of a temple tucked into the woods, the crashing waves of the ocean, or the fiery red glow of a setting sun. Then I moved away from Texas, and I had my first child, and a floodgate of questions poured out of me. Looking at my newborn, I thought, how does this happen? I mean, I know how it happens. But how does this happen? How can a full-on human person be created and grow in another human person? From that, my curiosity of the world around me grew. Why are no two butterflies or snowflakes alike? How many combinations of genes are there in a leaf? How many species and subspecies and sub-subspecies are there in plants and animals? And how is it possible for no two things to be exactly alike? And why do not any of my 4 children look like me? It's a mystery, this world. Shortly before her death, a very prestigious colleague told me that that going to seminary completely changed her view on Christianity. They encouraged questions. Question everything, she said, no matter how uncomfortable it makes you, no matter how far it takes you from your conditioned beliefs. She told me how sad she was when she realized that she no longer believed in the Trinity, and then realizing she didn't believe in a creator God. She said, what good is a Christian minister who doesn't believe in God? That's the mystery, right? The questions that always lead to more questions. Like we're treasure hunters, only we never find the treasure. There's a song by Casey Musgraves called The Architect, and I know that quite a few of you have probably heard it, and they overplay it on the radio, but it really does have some good words in it. The song does a beautiful job of explaining this relationship with our world and our beliefs and our need for answers. Sometimes we ask these questions with doubt, even though we already think we know the answer. The questions can be accusatory. Other times, there's an honest curiosity bubbling up. We genuinely want to know the answers. Musgrave's questions find her moving through moments of confusion in the face of trials, and then inching toward an inkling of doubt. The subtle shift in the final line is just enough, and such a pointed way to end the song with the underlying question posed to the listener. Let me read the lyrics here, and I'm sorry, Laura, you're just going to have to suffer through it. Even something as small as an apple, it's simple and somehow complex, sweet and divine, the perfect design. Can I speak to the architect? And there's a canyon that cuts through the desert. Did it get there because of a flood? Was it devised, or were you surprised when you saw how grand it was? Was it thought out at all, or just paint on a wall? Is there anything that you regret? I don't understand. Are there blueprints or plans? Can I speak to the architect? Sometimes I look in the mirror and I wish I could make a request. Could I pray it away? Am I shapeable clay? Or is this as good as it gets? One day you're on top of the mountain so high that you'll never come down. Then the wind at your back carries ember and ash that burns your whole house to the ground. Is it thought out at all, or just paint on a wall? Is there anything that you regret? I don't understand. Are there blueprints or plans? Can I speak to the architect? I thought that I was too broken and maybe too hard to love. I was in a weird place. Then I saw the right face, and the stars and the planets lined up. Does it happen by chance? Is it all happenstance? Do we have any say in this mess? Is it too late to make some more space? Can I speak to the architect? This life that we make, is it random or fate? Can I speak to the architect? Is there an architect? In the first stanza, she's wrestling with the idea that this marvel of perfection, the apple, a synthesis of sun, water, oil, not oil, hopefully, human toil, is also used as a Bible story meant to scare humans away from asking questions or even questioning the existence of a creator. The apple imagery conjures up the forbidden fruit on the tree of knowledge and good and evil in Genesis. Then she's questioning whether the intricate designs, humans included, just occurred naturally, or if there's a larger, more powerful force behind the creation. She asks if she has any agency in who she will become. These are questions we all ask on our quest for knowledge and understanding. And though we may come to conclusions one way or the other, we will never know if our conclusion is right. But we don't stop asking the questions. This ability to ask questions about our faith and the natural world is what sparks our imagination. It's what puts us on a path for justice, the arts, deep sea exploration, journeys into space. The Sydney Opera House was born from imagining a building that would look like an orange peel. If someone can imagine that, then I believe we can all sit in the majesty and mystery around us, asking questions and allowing that there may never be answers. That adds to the miracle of our existence. Are we moldable clay, like she asks in the song? Maybe we are. Maybe all creation is. Wondering what created our world and the wonders in it should never minimize our connection to it. Asking these questions doesn't mean we reject any possibility. But what it does is live in the dissonance between a beautiful world and one still fraught with pain and ambiguity. Sometimes the best works of art beg more questions than they answer. They become jumping off points for deeper conversation. So ask those questions Never stop thirsting for knowledge. Imagine things even greater than what you encounter. Look at a simple flower and see what the architect saw that made him build a temple. Questioning won't break your faith. It will make it stronger by seeing just how complex and beautiful our existence is. We are Imagineers. Our closing hymn this morning is number 301, Touch the Earth, Reach the Sky. You stand as you are willing or able.
Our chalice extinguishing words are from Michelle Collins. Though the flame is extinguished, the embers of imagination remain. Carry them forward, dream boldly, act with love, and kindle new fires in the world.
May our connection to each other and to the world around us spark awe, spark passion, spark questions. What will you build today? Our service has ended. We invite each of you to join us at this time for coffee and conversation in the library at the rear of the sanctuary. Stay and visit with us a little bit.